Visual Writers.
Was poppin'. Welcome, Nikki and Moose. I'm Nikki. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And welcome to the live show. First and foremost, new episode drop today. Episode 121, I believe. It's like the 12 ways to monetize content. Something around that title. But it's so fire. So hopefully you listen to the audio experience. It's a vibe. Two, we released a new audio series called Creator Ave. The intersection between branding and business, right? Where I don't know what that was, but that was good.
The intersection. You know what I'm saying? It's just like right here.
Like, I don't know what happened. Right, I don't know what that was. But the good thing about it is these lives are now being repurposed for audio only. But like, this isn't going to be out Friday. Like, these are some of our best lives that we've done, and straight to the point, like the meat and potatoes. No fluff on this one, only pen and pad. So every Friday at 6 a.m., we now have a Creator Ave episode on all podcast players. I almost messed that up. On all podcast players, so go check that out. It's a vibe. And then one more thing.
It really is.
Go like, share on all of this, okay? Screenshot, say you're watching this, and if you ever get any kind of value, definitely hit that super chat. Our Facebook is not working today. So hit that super chat or hit that super thanks. That's how you can support this channel. All right. Moose, how we feeling?
Man, feeling good. It's been a heck of a day. I'm still waking up earlier as well. So I'm about at 5:20-ish. 5:20-ish, 5:25, alarm clock rings, by the time I get out the bed and get going. So it's still going. So ironically, around this time, I'm starting to feel a little like, okay, maybe I need a little midday nap on the days that we're doing it live, because
Tuesdays is harder for me. Tuesdays, I'm like,
You start to feel it's like, why am I yawning at 7:30? Oh, it's because I've been up for God knows how long. So, just adjusting to that. But other than that, man, things are good. Super excited for this topic. I think it's going to be super valuable for everyone tapped in. First we were going to say how to get your first 1,000 followers. But then I said, no, let's talk about your next 1,000, because what if you're at 2,000, you want to get to 3,000? What if you're at, 100, you want to get to 1,100? And so I think we got someone on here. I know we got someone on here with a lot of thousands. Let's just say about 110 of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a lot of thousands. A lot
Go
of
ahead,
thousands.
whoever that is in the audience.
Yeah, she tends to sit this side. She tends to be up there somewhere, like right over here. Yeah, right there. She got a lot of hundreds, so I think it's gonna be great. But yeah, man. I guess, how you feeling first though, before we even make the pivot?
So I'm with you with the still waking up early. Tuesdays is hard for me. I ain't gonna lie. So yesterday I did 6:30. Right?
Okay.
I bumped it. I was like, all right. I feel like I could do 6:30. Felt great. Funny thing is, shout out to Carl. He's like, how you feeling? And I listed all these things. He's like, you sound like Moose. I was like, we're over communicating. Okay. We're on really same page and over communicating.
It's right? So good. And nobody has to assume.
Right. So
yeah.
But Tuesdays are always harder for me because I'm preparing for the podcast. So I'm going to bed a little bit later. So it wasn't 6:30 today, but it still was earlier than I normally do. So still a win for me.
Yeah.
Still a
I
win
knew
for
you
me.
was up late because I saw the text you sent last night. It was like 11:45. I was like, oh yeah, no, she up late. She up
Oh
late.
yeah,
I don't
Mondays I gotta get. So the goal is to not be asleep. That's a lie. Shut it down by midnight. That's the goal. If I could do
That's
that,
early.
that's
That's
early
early.
for me.
That's
That's
early for you,
super
yeah.
early for me. So if I could do that, we're Gucci. No matter 6, 5, whatever, I could do that. If I can shut it down at 12. If I can't, yeah, it's getting put. And the funny thing is, here, side note. Let's talk about side notes real quick. Here's how dumb I am. I went. The alarm went off. Right. I already woke up. Right. Put it, 30 more minutes. Walked all the way over there. 30 more minutes. Even went to the bathroom, came back. Went to sleep
more.
for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then was like, okay, I could do this. Because I was like, it's podcast day. I already know how I got to do this, that, third. So I was like, just give me 30 more minutes. So shout out to all our early risers. I'm still not taking that badge because there's still flaws in me.
Yeah.
Once I could do the 12, I may take it. I may not. I don't know. I'm still wearing this night owl badge with honor.
Yeah. Yeah, no, all right. Well, let's see, man. Let's see how it goes. But definitely, let's jump into it, man. I'm really excited to talk about this because, I think, and by the way, for everyone tuned in, you really got to think about it this way, right? And please, by the way, before we jump into it, drop where you're checking in from. Let us know about your brand. Last week's live was phenomenal. We had a lot of amazing questions. So if you got any questions, make sure you stay until the end. We actually answered some questions, and I think people got a tremendous amount of value from that. Continue to share this with some people, man. The goal is to get this thing to at least 100 live viewers. I'm still going to say this is it the third or fourth week? It might be the fourth week that I'm saying this in a row. 100 live viewers. I'm
going to say third.
Yeah. Oh, third sounds about right. I'll take the third. But 100 live viewers, we'll give out some hundreds, $100 cash prizes. Do like multiples just to Nikki's like, wait, what account? What you mean?
Yeah, I was like, we transferring accounts in the bid and stuff.
Love it. But no, for sure, man. Continue to share this with your people and let's make sure more people learn about this info. But want to talk about acquiring your first or next 1,000 followers. Here's the deal. If you want to grow your brand, which is, by the way, the avenue to grow your business, right? Like I've actually have almost been completely converted. I'm still business all day. Like I love business development and talking about business. And my thought behind it is as you grow as a person, your business will quickly follow. However, the way to grow your business, if you really think about it in most cases, at some point, you're going to need to grow your brand. It's an easier way to grow your business when you have an established brand, you have an audience, you have a community of trusted customers that count on you for the service or product that you provide. And so they just easily come to you for that. And so back in the day, and when I first started in at least my quote unquote professional career, I spent some time on Wall Street. And the only way that we can sell our product, or at this time it was a service, the only way we can sell our service is we legitimately, we were trained to pick up the call and make 150 to 200 cold calls a day. If you've never done it, let me just tell you, it's miserable. Some people say they love it. I hated it. I did not enjoy trying to convince, for real. I did not enjoy trying to convince strangers to be friends with me so that I can eventually sell them on the service that we were selling. But if you think about the beauty and the great opportunity that we all have in having access to platforms like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and all of the different social media platforms, is that with one click of a button, the minute you hit share or post on your respective platform, you have the opportunity to reach hundreds of people, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, and even millions of people, depending on how your skill at content creation gets better, right? And so definitely one of the most effective ways to do that. But ultimately, to get that growth, you have to hack through at least that first 1,000 or that next 1,000 to really put yourself in position to now put yourself in front of multiple or a magnitude of people that much quicker. So I want to jump into it from that lens, Nix, thinking about the 110,000 that you have in the bank, not to mention like the millions of others through the other respective, accounts. We're not going to talk about that too much. Just a light little flex over there. That's a lot. It's a lot to think about. I got a little, I just thought about it right now though. It's like, wait, it was just 100,000 here, but we got a couple million stuff over there. And then I got a little something too. I got like a little 8,000 something. I'm coming up in the game.
That's a lot.
Yeah, coming up.
Don't do that.
So definitely want to focus on that 1,000, right? I think, and I'm not so much caught up on having 1,000 followers, but I think about how much momentum goes into doing something to get the attention of 1,000 potential customers or 1,000 people that take a liking to what you're doing, who may not necessarily buy into what you're selling right now or what your brand represents right now, but they just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the time and at least make that commitment to want to see your content every time you share something. And so take us through maybe just the thought process that goes into making that strive for the next 1,000 followers.
Okay. We could do that whenever it switches back. Why doesn't it want to switch back? There we go. Hey. Okay. So, there's a few things you want to think about when we're talking about that road to 1,000, right? Or getting another 1,000. So let's go with the basics as far as your profile. Like, is it filled out? Very basic. This is going to be your first impression, right? Everything from name to maybe a slogan or bio, link in the bio. What does your profile say about you? Is it the typical author, CEO, entrepreneur, dance coach, whatever? That tells me what you think of you. That's cool. What value do you add to me? So when we're looking at our profiles, we want to fill it out, 1, with keywords, 2, with value. When they come to this profile, when they come to this page, what are they getting? What can they expect? What are you going to do for them? Now, granted, when we're talking about Instagram, we're not talking about the long bio. So you want to get super straight to the point of keywords, value. What does the link to the bio do? Now, thinking about when we're talking about Instagram, you only have one link to provide, right? So you can put it to your website, right? But we have to think, when we're doing our call to actions on the post, is it always to that particular page? You want to make it very simple for people. So that's why a lot of people like different services like Linktree. I use Video Ask for those people who've seen the link in my bio where it has like a whole through video walkthrough. You can do Flow Page, where this is going to allow you to have multiple links in one link, right? And this is good for if you have different products, different services, different shows. You're not limited to just one thing. So I would say the very, very first thing when we're thinking about how to get to more followers is your profile done correctly? When we have our usernames, but in our name in itself, that's searchable, right? That's search engine optimized. So yes, we could put our name there, but what is also some keywords that people may put that your profile will actually pop up as well? Now we're thinking about discoverability as well. So it's those particular things from a first impression standpoint, from I know exactly what I want, what I'm getting from you. The link in the bio is very clear, and searchability is and discoverability is possible because what you're putting all in your profile. So I would say that's one of the first things to take care of.
That's such a good place to start too, because I know for sure just your profile looks better and even more credible when you have a good profile pic. I love that you started there. Like, honestly, I thought we were going to race ahead to content, but I love that you just started at the basics of, is your profile in order? Is it attractive and clear enough for people to come across and at least grab their attention? It's just true. Like, quite honestly, whenever I'm going through notifications, I ultimately look at, I'm noticing this now just as I think about my behavior. I think I look more at the picture more than I look at the user names per se at the notification, right? I'm looking at the picture, just scanning through. And typically the profiles that you click on, to your point, are the ones that have just a distinct look to them, right? Maybe it is a clean headshot, a clear headshot, something catchy about it. I know there was a time when people were changing the color of their background, like they were changing it to brighter colors and different things like that. Is that something that's still in style, or is that a little bit outdated now, or what's the move? What's the move on that?
Yeah, it don't matter on that. As long as it's a clear picture, we're good.
Love it. Talk to them about what's next, man. What do we go after? We get our profile in order. We get our tag, the description, link and bio, the whole nine. What's the next move?
So we got to come up with a consistent post schedule, right? Before we start creating anything like that, are we very aware of our posting schedule that is going to keep us consistent? If we are seeing other people and how they grow their social media platform, the one thing that you're going to see is consistency. Now, consistency doesn't always mean every single day, but whatever schedule that you come up with, you are consistent with that schedule. So if you're saying Monday through Friday, I'm going to be posting, then you better show up Monday through Friday. If you're saying, Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, then you better show up those particular days. One, it allows people to understand the pattern. Then they'll look forward to some of the stuff that you have, right? Now, granted, you're going to hear multiple things like post every single day. I'm a big advocate of posting every single day because the way that I teach about it, you are tapped into your natural. So the only thing I'm asking for you to do is show up in your natural way. However, I'm very aware that that can be intimidating and that takes some small wins to finally get up there. So figure out your posting schedule, right? And then put that out there. Put it on your stories saying, hey, I'm going to be posting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Like, tell the audience what they can expect. And I think when you get there and you feel comfortable with the consistency, I would say up it one and get consistent with that, right? To where you can post every single day. But without a consistent flow, without a consistent schedule, your following is going to be very scattered. Like, you may get 3 people, 5 people, just no people, because there's nothing really consistent happening. And 2, you're not allowing people to connect with you. You're continuing to go in and out of people's lives. This is still the social part of social media. You have to be social in some kind of way. So a consistent posting schedule has to be number 2 for me when it comes to this journey of getting your next 1K.
Wow, that's so critical. And I think once you mention the word consistency, that's when a lot of those hurdles are going to come up now, right? And you see it even in the chat, a few people saying, this is when it gets overwhelming for me. I struggle with consistency. Should I hire someone to do it for me? What's your thought process on that? Because I found, as I reflect on even my own journey with trying to build up consistency, it's crazy because the most consistent time I think I ever was probably 3 years back, but I was consistent on stories. Mm-hmm. And I've come to realize that consistent on stories really is just nurturing the people that are currently following you, but it doesn't help you to get your next 1,000 followers. We're specifically talking about helping you to expand the reach of your brand and expanding your audience through that way. So I was consistent, but in the wrong avenue. And I realize now that there are two ingredients that I really focus on when I think about consistency, right? I think first about not so much about being consistent, but making the commitment and saying that, hey, and I don't want to say the word contract because I feel that contract might feel like a very legal, strict thing, but just making a commitment to your purpose, your calling, your brand, and your business to say, I'm going to show up. And you got to think of it a lot like a storefront. If you own the physical location, you not showing up on the particular days that you said you were going to show up, it's like advertising store hours and then you close the store that day. Right? Think about like your favorite coffee shop or something like that. They become probably a part of your favorites because you know that you're going to go every Monday at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever it is, and you're bound to pick up that coffee. But imagine walking, you're banking on that cup of coffee, you came to pull the door and it's like, it clings on you like, oh, what happened? It's the same thing. And just because it's digital, we think that those rules don't apply, but it's the same exact thing, right? Whether you know it or not, and that's the other thing I'm realizing, whether you know it or not, people start to get accustomed to whatever it is that you share with them, and it becomes a part of their day, right? Maybe it's a nice little pick-me-up or a nice tip or something, even if it's nothing that they even can value from or benefited from that particular day, just because they see your consistency, maybe it pushes them to say, all right, now I got to go and be consistent as well, right? So I know that the commitment, I think of commitment as another way to offset the consistency. I want to ask you though, what's the balance between consistency and discipline? And here's what I mean by that. Somebody can be consistent for the sake of being consistent and just posting just to post, right? They're posting just to say, hey, I'm being consistent. Mm-hmm. But there's a level of mastery where you're consistently being disciplined to your particular strategy, type of content, the thing that you want to be specialized or known for, right? There's an added layer to that, which is discipline in being able to, I don't know if it's be more creative, if it's figuring out new things to talk about or new topics to cover when you even don't have anything to do. So what do you do to balance that to, okay, yes, I'm going to be consistent because I'm committed, right, but I also have a level of discipline to the things that I talk about, the things I want to be known for.
I like how you worded that. I don't know if I would have worded it that way because I would say strategy more than discipline, right? Okay. You have to have an intentional strategy to post specific things or within what we call buckets. You are going to be posting, let's say, if you are a toy maker, behind the scenes of making the toys, the new products, and then the life inside of the store of where you're selling these. Like these are your buckets, and you have a strategy that made you come up with these particular buckets. Now the discipline, I'll say, comes in when you don't, like, you're consistent, but you don't feel like it today. Right? And you're like, I ain't feeling this content. I ain't feeling what I made. I don't feel like I don't want to do it. And then that's where it's like, I don't really care how you feel. You gotta post. And you already have this strategy. So post within the strategy. I'm not asking you to post outside of that. I don't want you to think of nothing new. This is why it's important to have the strategy part of it. I don't want you to think of, because when you don't want to post, that's where the strategy and the discipline pops in. It's like, man, all right, I'm going to post this behind. I don't like it, but I'm going to post it. And 9 out of 10 times when you don't like it, it does great.
Wow. That's so good. And you're right, because I didn't think about it that way. If you sat your butt down, I'm gonna have to sit my butt down again and tighten up the strategy, because I feel I literally had this conversation yesterday, and I was on the commitment almost obsessively. I have to. I want to. Forget I have to. I want to. And I'm so excited to be back in this I want to phase. And for those of you who have struggled with consistency, you probably can connect with this a little bit more, because you know that consistency sometimes just isn't always about not knowing what to share, but sometimes you just literally feel as though you don't even have the energy to be social or post or share or any of those things. So now that I'm in this want to phase, I'm like, heck yeah, let's go. But that is so good, because the strategy keeps you in line with the things that you're supposed to be sharing. And then from that point, it's facts over feelings. I love that. That's good, Nix. I see how you work in this thing now. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Over here.
Yeah, I love it. Folks, if y'all got any questions in the chat, man, by the way, like I said, just drop them in there. We'll circle back towards the end there and answer some of those questions. And shout out to everyone who's leaving super chat. I think I saw one a little bit earlier, but thank you for the love as always. Yeah, we appreciate it. All right, Nick. So far I got profile,
Yep.
bio, or profile pic, bio, content strategy.
Yep.
And where am I going from there?
Collaborate with other creators. If we're thinking about getting to the next 1K, I was about to say 100K, next 1K, right? Then we have to get in front of other people's audiences. We can't just depend on Instagram to get our stuff out and to get our reach to the numbers that we want to. We have to now start networking digitally and collaborate with other creators. You know, first, of course, you would want to do people that are within your niche, right? Because it just makes sense. Or, you know, other people that have maybe similar or higher following that has a mutualism, right? Sometimes even to those people who may have a lower following than you, because these are 300, 500, 1,000 other people that don't know who you are. So any amount of followers count, because when you put out some type of content with this person, whether it's a live, whether it's a collaborative post. Say that 5. I can't say these things. But whether it's that type of post, right? Based off your impression of them, they could stick. They're like, yo, I'm gonna follow you. That's 2 other people you didn't have. 3 other people you didn't have, you know? So collaborating with other people is going to really help you reach your goal to the next 1K just a little bit faster. You still have to do the work, but collaborations make it just that much easier.
Man, that's a good point too, because I like what and from what I'm understanding now is it's exposing your stuff to their audience and getting an opportunity to build the connection from there too. Yeah, that's important. What about the type of content though? Is there, like, at what point do I start thinking about what type of content or what type of people am I looking to collaborate with? Because I know I've seen you do specific collaborations, and I don't want to say that, and I don't mean strategic in a bad way, but they tend to make sense, right? They're in line with, like, I know you did one with Nick recently, and he's talking about Instagram's scheduling feature. Well, obviously, almost all of your content is about that, so it just made sense to use that piece of content. Any advice you would give for people who are thinking about what type of collaborations, what type of content, or things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, the best part is always to create stuff that's within your niche or that can elevate your niche. So meaning, for example, shout out to Carter, right? We had him on our podcast. I could go do a live with Carter where I'm speaking to, personal brands and content creators. And now he's elevating it by helping personal brands and content creators through tax season, right? So I have the audience. I'm giving a different look to, hey, we don't tend to think about this all the time. We get so much into building the brand, creating it, but taxes are coming. Let's talk about it like this. So
Right now.
either within the niche or something that elevates the niche is the type of content that you want to kind of create.
Yeah, and I just thought about this. The cool thing about the collaboration, like to be able to, and I think it's called specifically remixing the reels or remixing other people's content. It's in a way, it does appear as a collaboration, and maybe you could kind of share your opinion on that. But I even like that type of content, and I know for a while I thought that might not be something that's still going to work, but it's doing great again this year. And I see a lot of people still using that type of content. But I think about how easy it is to that in some case, that's still a collaboration nonetheless, right? You're able to use or leverage someone's authority or credibility in a particular space, and you're commenting on it or you're putting your stamp of approval or however you may intend to use it. But I would look at that as a collaboration. But more importantly, I just think about how easy it is to do that type of collaboration. You're not necessarily, you don't need someone's approval. No. If they have that feature that says, I allow other people to remix this content, that's them giving you permission to do that. So for anyone who's wondering or thinking to themselves, man, but I don't know if I reach out to Nikki, if she'll go live with me. I only have 39 followers right now. It's like, it doesn't even matter who, from that standpoint, you can even take the path of least resistance and still build a collaboration that way. Because I think there's a way for them to also view it on or add it on their own profile. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, no. They can't add it to their own profile when you remix it. That's only if you do a collaborate post, right?
Oh, got you. Okay.
But the remix is good to get exposure from the original content, but also exposure for what you're doing, especially if it's a post that's already working.
Makes sense. Calvin in the chat said, can you schedule all your social media?
We doing all the questions at the end. I got you. There's multiple ones.
Fair enough. Well, take us to the next point then. Just after we talked about, all of these pieces up to collaborations.
So I think the next one is definitely going to be utilizing the platform features, right? This is where you're looking at Instagram and you're looking at the different list of ways to create content on Instagram. And especially the one that Instagram is putting energy towards, right? So at this moment that we're recording this, we have regular post, we have lives, we have reels, we have carousels, we have stories, right? Guides are not good for brand awareness situations, but these are the different features that we have that are most popular, right? Now, you want to figure out, one, what can I do on a regular basis? But two, where's the energy at? Right now, everybody's focusing on vertical video. So that means Instagram Reels is where the bread and butter is for brand awareness. And if we're talking about getting to your next 1K, then you're thinking about, how am I going to bring brand awareness to my page? What is Instagram really focusing on? And that's going to be Instagram Reels. So what is my schedule to where I am doing Instagram Reels on a regular basis, and whatever that regular basis is for you, right? once again, I'm always going to say ideally, if you can do once a day, great. I would say 3-4 times a week sounds amazing, right? 3-4 times a week sounds amazing as far as that, right? Now, what has been put out recently is that Instagram is going to now bring a balance to video and photos, to where before Instagram was just totally focusing on video, right? They just wanted to keep up with the competition. Now they're saying, hey, we're going to put a balance on photos and videos, meaning your photos are going to get a lot of love. Well, not a lot, but get more love than it did before. And this is where carousels are going to come back to life. So for those people who don't know what carousels are between, I think, 2 to 7, or is it 10? 7 or 10.
Yeah.
But posts, whether it's photos or videos, put all in one post. The reason why I'm saying carousels are going to work way better than just one photo or one video, right, is because you have to think Instagram wants to keep you on the platform as long as you can. So the carousel is now taking you on a journey, which means you're spending more time on that particular post, aka you're spending more time on the platform, because just because you spend more time on that particular post doesn't mean it takes away from the time you were going to spend on Instagram anyways. So when we are thinking about what am I going to be posting, do I have reels in my strategy? Do I have carousels in my strategy where I'm now taking them through a story, or I'm taking them through some tips and tricks? Do I'm taking them behind the scenes or explaining something, right? Am I going into stories? And my stories is to nurture your audience, to give them more of a raw, organic, behind the scenes situation. So am I putting out stories? Please do not put out stories thinking you're going to get followers. No, this is just to cater to your existing audience, right? Going live, is that going to be something that you want to do? Now, lives are, once again, really good to nurture the audience. This is not necessarily the easiest way of making a following. It's a long process if you do it that way. One of those things where you have to always ask them, hey, share this live, right? And when you share the live, it goes directly to that person's DM. So meaning it could convert a little bit easier, right? This is where you could also be doing, you could collaborate with other people. When people go live, when you bring somebody on live, their audience now gets a notification to your live, right? So it is possible to grow on live. It's just a longer process compared to reels and posts. So this step is understanding the Instagram features and how are you going to apply it to your content strategy to get to your next 1,000 followers.
That's good. That's good. Some real tricks of the trade right there. But I do want to shout out, I think we might have just reached, is that an all-time high? 60 live viewers? Was that?
Hey!
But I feel like that might, yeah. I feel like we're edging closer and closer to that 100, man. Shout out to everyone who is plugging in. Make sure you go back and watch this back, man. This is a fire dialogue so far on how to get your next 1,000 followers on Instagram. And I love what you said there last two, Nix, because I have noticed every time the platform opens up a new feature, and I guess this, just to kind of give you some insight behind this, and I'm sure we can connect the dots on it, but that typically is one social media platform's ways of competing with another platform, right? So when stories came out, I feel like that was maybe a competition directly with, I think, something that Snapchat was doing, yep. Right? And then it's like, oh, and the views on stories, if you were one of the first people to start using stories, views on stories were ridiculous. It's like it probably 3x to 4x what you would normally get on your standard post, because it's a new feature that the platform is rolling out and they want everyone to use it. And what better way to get buy-in than to reward people with engagement, with views, and letting people see it than how the normal algorithm would do it. So we've seen the same thing happen with Reels. And it probably, I feel like Reels was or is the longest run of attention from Instagram, at least, specifically because of how far TikTok had almost ran with that vertical video space. Would you say that's kind of the case with it too?
Yeah, they still see that vertical videos are popping everywhere else. So they're going to be like, okay, more creators are creating short form videos. We're going to stay right here. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I see some people in the chat, man, talking about let's collab. And actually, this is probably a great time to let you know about one of our sponsors. Nix, maybe you could talk about Deeper Than the Brand, because I was going to say that, not for nothing, one of the ways to collaborate, if I might say so myself, but for real, one of the ways to collaborate is to get into a community of people who are looking to do the same thing that you're doing. It's one of like the easiest ways, rather than trying to, again, do the stranger thing on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Nix, tell him about.
We're gonna get Moose some merch. He's coming through. He's coming slowly but surely. He's coming slowly but surely. He's coming through. I just felt like that was a great little, Listen, he's coming. If you want Moose and Deeper Than the Brand, like active, drop our hashtag DTTB, and if you're part of Deeper Than the Brand, please drop that. But shout out to Deeper Than the Brand, the #1 content branding community out there right now that is huge on collaborations, huge on helping other people create content, huge on figuring out this social media life and everything like that. So we're gonna get some. We getting there. I'm plotting. I've been plotting with Carl for a little bit, and I think I'm in a really good position with how certain things are right now. That is going to be like, hey, here's the situation. Here's your merch. You know what I mean? Here's your merch. Welcome to the family. Welcome.
I love it. Hey man, it's something special what they got going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So you just I gotta speak the truth.
3,000 strong. Yeah, 3,000 strong.
Talk about it. So for those of you who are like, man, I need a couple people to collaborate with, I'm sure you can find at least two or three people to collaborate with amongst the 3,000. You know what I'm saying? That are in that community, man. So good stuff. Nix, listen, man, I don't know. We might need to do another part to this. I feel like there's so much more that we could continue to talk about, but I hope that for everyone who's tuned in, man, just between, we really feel covered, like from entry level to even high level stuff around how to just go out and get your next 1,000. So again, man, I'll say it. It doesn't matter where you are with your brand right now. It doesn't matter how many followers that you have. We all can benefit from having more customers or more people knowing about our brand. It's the easiest way to scale your business long term. And I'm just going to continue to encourage you to utilize some of your strategies and adjust. I know for me, I'm going back to that strategy piece because I thought it was a creative discipline. That was the term that I was coming up with. Like, hey, is it a discipline thing? I got to discipline my creativity because right now consistency isn't the issue, but I feel I might be going all over the place. But I think you're right, Nix. It's definitely the strategy. So just figure out for you, man, what part of it do you need to fix or adjust? Is it the profile? Do you need to maybe invest in some headshots? Is it really sitting down and thinking through the journey that people are going to take when they land on your profile and read your bio and some of those things? Or is it the strategy, the collaboration, all of these different elements that we talked about? So fire dialogue, Nix. Appreciate you, as always, for the insight.
And we got some questions.
Yeah.
So we're gonna answer these real quick. It's like semi-fire round. But thinking of posting is overwhelming for me. Should we hire someone if we struggle with that part? So I do believe eventually you do want to hire somebody. Whether you are the business owner, the talent, I do believe you should always concentrate on just that, right? However, I will say you need to be very strategic with that, because if you give that power up too soon, you kind of lose a part of your brand. They are in control of the tone. They are in control of the consistency. They are in control of sometimes the visuals, right? So you want to make sure you understand the foundation of how your brand's supposed to look, feel, sound, look like before you go give that up. If you don't know that, then you should still keep it in-house, right? Still understand that, and then hire somebody for that. Would tagging work as well? Okay. So there's good tagging and then there's bad tagging, right? We've all probably experienced when somebody tags us like 99 other people and the content has nothing to do with us. That's trash, right? However, you want to be strategic with the tagging, with being intentional of who is it for, to get their attention so they can then either comment, have conversations with you in the DMs. Because right now, when you tag somebody, whether it is on the post or in the comments, it goes to their DMs. So it opens up that line of communication if you do this properly, right? You don't want to waste that direct communication. So tagging does work if you do it very strategic, right? And then how does one collab on social media? When it comes to Instagram, which we're talking about, that's probably Instagram Lives and remixes and the collaborative post, right? So when you are tagging people, there is one that's called like invite collaborator, and they have to accept it, and it'll be on both of the pages, right? So those are like 3 ways you could collaborate. Can you schedule can you schedule all your social media on one platform? Yes, those are normally third-party platforms like Later, Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout Social. Those are some of the platforms that will allow you to take one post and put it on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that whole nine. You want to look for third-party scheduling apps like the one that I said. And then Joe said, who wants to collaborate? I'm doing motivational content.
Love it.
So if you want to collaborate with Joe, go collaborate with Joe. You know what I mean?
Love it. Love it. There you have it, folks. There you have it. How to get your next 1,000 followers. Little mini masterclass I think y'all got today. So get to it. Screenshot. I would love if you guys do this. Screenshot your profiles now. And let's come back maybe in 30 days and take another screenshot. And let's see if you apply some of this stuff with a little before and after. That'll be cool, man. I want to see what y'all got. So definitely put in that work and let's get to it. I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be on that challenge with y'all. So I'll let you know on February 24th if I got my next 1,000. I saw it the first time. If I got my next 1,000, and we'll keep building this thing.
Well, look, people, do us a favor. 1, go listen to the podcast. Take a screenshot and tell everybody else to listen to the podcast, okay? 2, quick reminder, every Friday, 6 a.m., we have a new audio experience called Creator Ave, right? So the first one was, what is the first video you should post as a personal brand, right? That was last Friday. So if you didn't catch that, go on any of your favorite podcast players and listen to Creator Ave. 3, the video version of episode 121 drops Wednesday at 8 p.m. All our video episodes drop as a premiere, 8 p.m. Come join us on the chat, right? We're active in the chat. Everybody else is active in the chat. Come through, watch it live with us. We're there, right? And then 4. We're at 4. Thank you. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for watching this, whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching this replay. Thank you. We appreciate you, right? We hit a new high number of 60, so that's a vibe. We appreciate you. We're at 13K subscribers. That's a big vibe. We appreciate you. Shout out to everybody who's hitting us with the super chat and the super thanks. We appreciate you. And you know what we're gonna say.
Peace, y'all.
I holla.